I am live. Hey, my name is Gary. I am the director of the Rocky Mountain, conductor, founder, director, something of the Rocky Mountain Ukulele Orchestra. And I am doing daily live broadcasts for people. If you are watching the recording of this, I have logged in easily 10 minutes early. So I would, if I were you, I would just fast forward about 10, 12, 15 minutes before we get into the meat of the lesson. And I'm logging in early to do some double checking on some sound changes I made. And so you don't need to really watch any of this part. People will be coming in to get settled in, and I will be welcoming them to a great ukulele experience. And in the meantime, I am now going to post our link onto the webpage so that people can find me. And we're going to do some triple checking on sound. I'm going to hit update. Somebody will log in and say, "Sounds good, Gary," and that's my favorite note I get every single day. Let's see. All right, so got to post it on the website. If I click on it, it opens up on its own window to this. Yep. All right. There's that. There's that. Valerie's here. She says I sound good. That means that Valerie is not a liar, despite what you've heard. And so she's here. Lynn is here. Hey, Lynn. Lynn hears me. She's not saying the sound is good because Lynn is not a liar. She's like, oh, it sounds like Gary. Let's see. Did I button enough of those up? Okay. How's my hair looking? A little crazy. Do that. All right. There. Whew. Okay. That's my complete amount of. What do they call that when those guys at the news station? They got to get all duded up. They got to get. I guess they go into makeup is what they do. I don't know. Let's see. Sandy listening while on the road today. Oh my gosh. All right. So you're using your mobile data for this. Hopefully you're on unlimited, Sandy. So glad you're here. Let's see what else is going on today. I've got today is going to be Home on the Range, one of my favorite arrangements from our intro class, and then we're going to do Yankee Doodle Boy, which is from Porgy and Bess, and then we're going to run through Give My Regards to Broadway one more time, which is also from Porgy and Bess. So we're doing 2 Porgy and Bess songs this week for who knows what reason. It's not it is technically Broadway, but it's not. We've got good stuff coming too. Let's see. Not that it's not good stuff. It's just not great. Let's see. You look like you look. Hello, you look like you and sound like you. That's a good thing. Lindy is a liar. The rumors about her are true. I look like me. I sound like I'm going to try to start sounding more deep. I told Red last week I was going to start trying to sound more broadcastery. It's not working out so far, but we'll try. Let's see. What else should we talk about? Gary H. and Diane. Gary and Diane you guys have been so dedicated. This is exciting. I love having you guys here every day. So if you are, I try to mention at the beginning of when I open the window, if you're watching the recording of this, it's only 12:55. There's no way we're beginning for at least 7 minutes, so you can fast forward. I was messing around with the sound system today, and I thought I better log in early and double check that I'm sounding okay. In the best of circumstances, we're usually okay, but then I also changed the strings on this. I brought this to share some ukulele tragedy stories. So this is what we're going to be talking about. Is this bad boy today? Let's see. Lanny just logged in. Hey, Lanny, how's it going? I mentioned last night, Lanny was in the broadcasting business forever, and I guarantee you, when he logs in, he's like, "This is not what you're supposed to do. This is all incorrect. All of this is bad." But he learns how to play ukulele. He's a pretty good ukulele player anyway. So Lanny, you'll toss me some suggestions as to what I should do different. Here's what I know. depending on the day, sometimes you can see back into this dark space and sometimes not. I have all the lights on in here. I have the window wide open, and I cannot tell why it is that some days the camera can read this and some days it can't. Don't know. Guess I don't really care. My background is this heating pipe. I probably should hang something here, that would make you think that it's a much fancier place than it is. And let's see, this guy over here, that's a cup that I can't remember who gave that to me. Had it for a long time. You put your pens in it. That thing there has my succulents. There's these little hens and chick things. Somebody gave me 3 little tiny ones, and it has turned into this monstrous thing that I don't even know what to do. I just keep watering it, and I keep hoping it will die because honestly, it's gotten out of control. This is philodendron. Even I can grow a philodendron. It's running clear down. You can see one of the leaves way over here, and then it goes over that direction pretty far. What else can you guys see? These are my concert ukulele area. I think I got 10 or 15 of them. The tenors are over there. Baritones are up on that wall. I don't think you can see those. And then the sopranos are over on that wall. So that's what you're looking at. Let's see. What else is going on? Lanny says I look good. He's a nice guy. Renee checking in from Lakewood, Colorado. Let's see. Becky is in from Morrison. Good to have you today, Becky. Lanny, do not play It's a Small World. If you haven't signed up for a membership, you are missing the opportunity to play It's a Small World. That's something that you need to be able to do. You don't need to be able to do it for yourself. What you want to do, here again, we talked last night, you got to have a song memorized. Want to memorize that one? You walk into a music store, ukulele, you go over and you check the place out first, and then you sort of slowly end up, when you're getting ready to leave, you go check out the ukuleles. You're not going to buy a ukulele there because that's not what you're going to do. And then you play, It's a Small World After All, knock it out, and then put the ukulele in and go, thanks guys, I'll see you later. And then you leave. And the rest of the day in their heads, ding, 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 ding. It's just one of those kind of joyous ways to share music with people who are already in the music industry, and they will thank you for it. All right, that's a mean thing to do, but it's you got to play something to test out a ukulele. So let's see what else we got going on. See, Lynn loves me just the way I am. Lynn's a nice person. Lynn, was it you last night that said about reading sheet music and wanting to know the length of the notes? I think it was you. I wanted to follow up on that today because I do think that's an important thought about why you would want to read standard notation. And so I think it was you. I'm gonna, or was it Fran? It might have been Fran. I'm trying to remember who said that. Evelyn, back in from you have a brown. Is it brown because you've been playing too much, or did you put it in the pie? Right? What kind of pie was it? It was a blue. Was it a blue? Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his curds and whey. That can't be right. Plum. It's a plum. I will give you a purple thumb. Let's see. You have a brown thumb. I think that's probably from playing so much, right? And you might just be wearing yourself out. We'll have to talk about safety and playing things, giving up at some point. Hi, Evelyn. Let's see. Christina's in from Bozeman. She spent all last week busy camping. This week she's showing up to play ukulele. Here we go. Only a second. Oh, yeah. Ba, 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 Baran. Lanny is trying to ruin our day. Chris, did you play golf this morning? Oh, I am so jealous. There was a point in my life where I was pretty good at golf. I got really close. Like I was getting where I could really do it. And shooting, 90s, not PGA stuff, but getting where I was about ready to start getting down into the 80s. And then my buddy, who I went with all the time, had a baby. Okay. And she's now 16. And so that's the last time I played golf seriously. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Golf and ukulele are the same. You just continue to approach excellence. You keep working on it. You hope you're getting a little better every time. And you see what happens, right? The Q in from California. Okay, Lynn. I think that might have been Fran that mentioned that. I'll blame her anyway. Kat, welcome in. You are early this morning. I guess we got the word. You when you heard Lanny singing "It's a Small World" and you're like, I need some of that. Let's see. Hi, Carolyn from the mountains. Terry. Uh, Terry's Denver, from Denver, Colorado. Yeah, we knew you're from Denver, Terry. Glad to have you here. Elizabeth in from Weld County. Patty and Tom in from out down south, I think. Red. Red does not care how long the notes are. Let's see. Who else coming in? Laurel. Laurel from Littleton. Mike from downtown. Linda from out west. Phyllis from up north. Mike, I frequently shot in the 90s for nine for 9 holes, right? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's probably what I'd shoot these days. Brutal. It's a mean game. It's perfect. It's everything about it is perfect, except that the end result is absolutely nonsensical. Brandon in from beautiful California. Vicky in another Bozite, and let's see. I guess it was. I believe it was. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, hard to complain about it when you're out golfing, right? All right. I actually want to play all three songs today because we had enough conversation yesterday about "Give Me My Regards to Broadway." So before we leave today, I want to play through that one time and just make sure that my edits that I got them all. I think I did, but I want to just play through that one more time. So we're actually going to play three songs today. We're going to play "Home on the Range" first, so grab that one. We're going to play Yankee Doodle Boy, not Yankee Doodle Dandy, and then we're going to play uh, Give My Regards to Broadway. Okay, so go ahead and grab your Home on the Range. I had it up earlier and I don't know what I did with it. There it is. And let's talk, as we always do. I feel like the way I approach teaching a piece of music is the same way I approach playing a piece of music. And so when I say, hey, let's do this, and then this, then this, it's in somewhat modeling the idea of what you should probably be thinking about as a musician and how you approach a piece of music. But more than that, I just think it's a smart idea, right? When you're going to go to play a song and you think, all right, I love that song. It's my favorite song from when I was a teenager. And then you go pull it up on the web and you find out there are 17 chords in it. And you're just like, maybe I don't like that song anymore. Well, go through and take a look and say, all right, what are those chords? Is it possible to transpose it into a ukulele friendly key? What kind of tools on the website where I found this song are available? And the stuff you get for me is already figured out, right? I already go through and make sure that it works on ukulele. But a lot of times, Lanny mentioned Barbara Ann, ba 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 Barbara Ann. I don't know what key that's in, and if I go look it up and it's in F sharp or E, B minor, there'll be these keys that are fairly common on other instruments, but not common on this instrument. And so then you think, well, do I want to do the work necessary to play it in the original key? Do I want to transpose it? Do I want to move on from that song? And so there's all of that sort of mind craziness that goes on. Or you can just come here. I play one of our songs and you'll be fine, right? So let's talk about approaching Home on the Range. What I would do to make it make sure that I wanted to play it. So hey Jerry, welcome in. First thing, G chord. Okay, and those of you guys that are new, this is not unimportant stuff to go through every single chord and see what's going to happen. Okay, index, middle, and ring. So you're probably getting where, okay, I know how to make a G chord. I don't necessarily love it, but that's what I'm going to do. Next chord's a D7, and it's only for one beat. So you're going to be moving index finger up one, ring finger up one, losing the ring finger for one beat, and then you're going to go right back to G. Okay? Musician survival skill. If there's a chord for one beat, sometimes you might skip it. Don't let anybody know. Okay, nobody's going to miss it. You're going to know you cheated. But if I'm, oh, give me a home, yeah, that's correct. But if I go, oh, give me a home, and I just don't strum at all, I'm going to get away with it. I could probably even strum through it. Oh, give me a home. It doesn't sound quite as good. But if you've got a chord that's for one beat, and you're thinking, it seems like a lot of work for one chord. For some chords, this is absolutely important, but in this case, maybe you skip it. Okay. I want you always to try though, right? Especially when you're at home by yourself. Oh, give me a home. Okay. So that's the next. So we ended up on G after that little discussion. Okay. C, just drop your ring finger down. Okay. To get from C back to G, okay, now in this case, because I'm in C, sometimes I put my middle finger on first and then the other way. But for the most part, just talking yourself into always leading with your index finger, middle finger, and then adjust your ring finger. I think if you will chase your index finger around and just get used to it being the leader of your hand, and just letting it get to the place that it needs to get, then your other fingers will behave and they'll learn to respond. Okay. From G, we're going to go to A7. We just slide it back. Isn't that a beautiful chord in that moment? It's A7 is not a typical chord that we have in the key of G, so it's kind of fun to have that hanging out there. And then you're going to go to the D7. Okay, so you get 2 7th chords in a row. One resolves into the next one. Okay, and then we go back to the G. And measure 9, we repeat the same idea. G, D7, G, C for a little while, go to G, go to D7, go to G, go to D7, go to G. Okay, here's where things get a little tight. To measure 21, you can either go around and do our usual E minor shape. So we're hanging out on G, drop this index finger down, and then add those up like a stair step. Okay. Or if you want, because it's only one measure, hanging out on G, take your pinky and put it up on there. And magically it turns it into an E minor. Don't move anything else. Okay, so that's a little bit of a secret. Okay, hey Linda, welcome in. Then after that E minor, you go back, you just drop back to A7, D7, G, go to D7, back to G, back to C, go to G, go to D7, and finish up on G. So if you're a new player, you're thinking, hopefully you're thinking, yeah, I can do those chords. Those chords are going to work for me. Okay. Also know if you're a new player and I sit down and talk about chords, I want you to know that I'm aware that those are way harder to do than just playing the melody. But this is how ukulele gets taught, is backwards. Everybody shoves all these chords down your face and it's hard where they should teach you melody, and then your fingers are magically going to just start wrapping around into chord shapes, and then you don't have to stress about it. Okay. So if you're fighting chords, know that you probably are approaching ukulele backward. You're probably making those more important than they should be. What's important is playing the melody. What's next important is playing the chords. Okay, I'd like to sing, and I'd like you to close your ears because it's brutal. Okay, we are in 3, guys. That way you know that is at the top of the paper. It says 3, 4, right? Upper left-hand corner of the chords and lyric line. When I grab a piece of sheet music, I look for what kind of chords am I going to be dealing with, which tells me which key I'm in. And then what's the meter? Okay, and that's the 3, 4. Okay, you can ignore the bottom number. When I tell people what it is, their little brains just melt. Right? We don't want to do that. The number that matters is the upper one, and that's 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Those of you who are working on this chord, this is important. Okay, because if you go give me a home, you want to keep that nice and steady. If you are strumming, nice and steady. Don't let the melody confuse you. Don't be, oh, give me a home, and then not forget to strum, and then where the buffalo roam. That's not what you want to do, and that's why people fight strumming in the beginning, because they're trying to strum along with the melody. You don't want to do that. You just keep the beat steady when you first start strumming. Okay. And then those of you who are cool, right, and you want to do because it's in 3, this doesn't really work. 1 and 2, right? 1, 2, 3. Now you're at 3 and you're down here, so that doesn't really work. So you really need a triplet stroke is what they call it. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Index down, thumb down, index up. What that does, and you'll see a lot of the pros using that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. I don't use it a lot because I get confused where I'm at in it, but that's a triplet stroke. And so you'll see that happen on a lot of 3/4 type music, either in 6/8 or 3/4. It's real handy to get that 3-beat pattern in there. I like thumb down. I just think that's beautiful on ukulele. Okay, let's give it a try. 1, 2. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play. 2, 3, 1, 2. Where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Home, 2, 3. Home on the range. 2, 3, 1, 2. Where the deer and the antelope play. 2, 3, 1, 2. Where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. 2, 3, 1, 2. Then you go back and repeat the whole thing. Play it all the way back down through measure 30, jump 31 and 32, play 33 and 34 to wrap up. So now here's what I notice, okay, as I'm doing that. 1, I notice that I can't sing those high notes, okay. 2, I notice this arrangement seems, there's nothing really particularly fancy or special about it. Meanwhile, in my head, I know this is one of the very best arrangements in our entire Intro to Ukulele series. Absolutely gorgeous tonality, but when you're singing and strumming it, a lot of that just gets glossed over. The chords are fine, the singing is fine, everything's fine, and it's lovely, right? But it doesn't get you into the depth of what beautiful music you can make on a ukulele. And so that's where we switch to melody and putting that melody with those chords, and then we're going to have something, okay? So let's go through, let's talk about the melody. Index finger is your ones. Are there any ones? I don't know if there are any ones. Probably not. We're in G. Very rare to have a 1 in G. We have no ones. So you can do index, middle, ring, pinky. But because we're in G and there are no ones, you should feel perfectly acceptable to play the melody in second position, because you got some 2s, got some 3s, going to have some 5s sneaking in here. Okay. And so playing in second position would make the least amount of motion and make the most amount of efficiency with your right hand. Okay, let's give it a try. We're going to go, I'm going to count in 2, and then we're going to go. We're only going to play it 1 time through. Okay, so first shot, best shot. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, oh, 2, 3, 2, oh, 3, 3, 3. 2, 3, 5, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, oh, 2, 3, 2, oh, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, oh, 3, 2, 3, oh, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 3, 2, oh, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, oh, 2, 3, 2, oh, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, oh, 3, 2, 3, oh, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and of course then we would have repeated typically, but in this case I said 1 time through. Run, first shot, best shot. Okay, making sense? Hopefully that sort of being in second position makes that easier, right? You don't have to move any fingers. You just have to remember which fingers to use. This is now becomes a 2, this becomes a 3. There are no 4s, and this becomes your 5, and then your fingers can hang out on those things. Very high likelihood of being successful. And the nice thing about that is if you can talk yourself into it, you know how when your eyes are on the paper and you got to pull it off to look and see where you're at, and then you go back and you can't find your place on the paper again. Have you ever had that happen? I have. Um, and when you are, the whole song is in a specific position, you can anchor your thumb, make sure it doesn't move, and then just play like heck. And you probably don't even need to take your eyes off of the paper. So kind of a helpful thing in order to be successful, at least initially when you're playing a tune. The other thing you notice, I'm in no hurry. I am in absolutely no hurry to get through this piece of music. As new players, a lot of times we're in too much of a hurry. We think we need to play this song at the speed that we're used to hearing it. And you do not. You should not. You should let yourself take lots of time. Play slow as you possibly can. I think you'll end up being happier with the result. Okay. There was something else fascinating I discovered as we were going through here. The other thing I want to talk about, you hear me, I do it all of the time. I do it all of the time. When I get to a long note, let's go to measure 7. Measure 7. I got 5 beats there, right? And you will hear me do it all the time. Antelope play 2, 3, 1, 2. Where's self? You'll hear me counting those out loud. I do that. I specifically am trying to get the message to you that you should be counting your long notes. If you don't, here's what will happen. Antelope play where seldom is heard. You're just gonna ignore the length of that note, and it happens to tablature players mostly. Okay, if you're reading the standard notation and you're busy, and then you see, oh, I got a tied dotted half note to a half note. All right, I got 5 beats there. I'm not going to come in early. But if you're a tab player, you're like, all right, I played that 0. What's the next thing I'm supposed to do? Oh, I'm supposed to play a 2, and you will come in early, and it happens all of the time. So get yourself in that habit of counting your long notes. Um, Not out loud, obviously. Don't do what I do, but count them in your head. I will tell you, and I think I've told you guys this story before. Years ago, I played with a trumpet player at a thing we were doing over here at one of the. It was a thing, and I had the beginning of this one song, and I was just working my little brains out, and he had 27 measures of rests. And so I'm busy just working my brains out, playing and playing this music. I look over, and he's going. He's busy counting the whole way through. And he was a professional player, right? He was somebody who did not necessarily need it. He knew where he was in the music, but he was still counting, right? Still counting, because those the worst thing you do is lose your count. You start coming in early or coming in late, and it just, it's not a good idea. So just get in the habit, counting your long notes, count. And I think you will. I think it will help you out, really will. Kay just walked in. This is my one memorized song from intro class all those years ago. So see, Kay has a memorized song. Here it is. She doesn't need her paperwork. Okay, that's something you want to get to. Okay, if you missed last night's Summer Institute, that's one of your goals this week is to memorize. Well, it was your goal for last week, right? So this is the week you got to get serious, okay? Because it's late. Find something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be complicated. Be 3 Blind Mice, whatever. Just have something that you know that you can play without sheet music, so that you can drive. You can bedazzle your friends with your glitter, right? Just walk in, play a song, throw the ukulele on the ground, walk out. All right. Final step in the process is tough uke. I probably mentioned this, but there is a typo in measure 16. That 0 on the first string, that should be a 3 on the second string. It's just a tied note there. That's a typo there. I'll get that fixed one of these days. And this is such an old arrangement that there are things on here that are not the way I do it now. And I used to put notes up there until I figured out how dumb that is. When you go buy a book, you'll find a lot of times you'll find them using this for melody notes, and you're like, well, why didn't Gary do that? Because Gary figured out that's stupid. All right, now tough axe, tough uke, tough Okay. You guys know we start by holding the chord and seeing how far it gets us. Here we go. From the top. Linda, still no. Linda, you're a spring chicken. Come on now. That's the one thing we all do, right? We blame all of our failures on our age, right? Don't do that. Blame your successes on your age. All right, here we go. From the top, I'm going to count in 2. You're going to play Tough Uke, or if you're not ready for that, you're going to play the melody. And if you're not ready for that, see how many chords you can get in good time. 1, 2. 2, 2, 3. So get ready to go back to the top. Here we go to the top. Second ending. We have a guy in our orchestra, Mike, and Mike is awesome. Mike's one of the great guys of all time, and it is his job when we are in G and we have that last note. That's his job. gives that a little punch right there on 10. He's our 10 expert. All right, so taking a listen to that, that's sophisticated. That's nice. That's a really pretty arrangement, right? We've got melody, we've got chords, we've got cool chords in there, and it just really comes together very beautifully. If you don't get in a hurry and try to play it too fast, you got a winning song on your hand. I think probably that's why Kay memorized it back in the day. It's just because it's beautiful. You sound amazing. Most everybody knows that song. Kids don't know. When we talk about people know these songs, kids don't know any of our songs, right? They know their Disney's tunes and that's it, and then they listen to this nonsense that's going on today. But the vast majority of grown-ups know this song, and so you've got something that's really beautiful. The problem with memorizing a song that everybody knows is they're going to sing along with you, and then you're going to be in a pickle because they're going to want you to play it faster And then, so you end up with that sort of challenge. So just be thoughtful about when you're finding your song, your one that you're memorizing. Is it one that everybody's going to sing along with you? That's going to create additional stress in your life. Maybe not ideal. Okay, let's move on. Hopefully that's making some sense to you. Let's do our new song for today, Yankee Doodle Boy. I will warn you in advance, this one's pretty easy. Okay, this one's not the level of crazy that we usually deal with on these things. And so, as I was putting this together, I initially had a painful uke line, and then I thought, this is easy enough. We'll just make the painful uke line the tough uke line, and delete the painful line. So, what the tough uke is here is actually the painful uke. So, I gave you a full-on, legit finger-style arrangement for tough uke on this one. You'll be fine. Before we get on there, yesterday we had a little bit of discussion about changing your strings out, and this is, let me, hold on. These are the strings that come on your ukulele, right? They're white. Those are not ideal. If your ukulele is more than 6 months old and you play it regularly, it's time to get rid of those white strings, okay? Unless you have a banjolele. Lindy will pipe in with her banjolele exception. Those are perfect for banjolele. These are not, they're not, that's it. That's the only thing they're good for. I've changed these out yesterday or the day before. These are these fluorocarbon strings. You see they're clear. You can barely see them there, but they're clear, and that's what you want. Now, there is a well thought of brand out there called Worth, and they have some brown strings that a lot of people like. I don't like them because the brown dye that they put in there slows the string down and makes it sound muddy in my mind. But a lot of people love them because they think it sounds deep and rich, right? But I put this stuff on every ukulele that comes in the shop. It's called fluorocarbon. And you can, if you go onto Amazon and you just type in Savares ukulele strings, two of them will come up. One's tenor length and one is concert length. Just that's what you need. That's the best stuff out there that I can find, and it's not expensive. It's just middle of the road pricing. I have tried a bunch of the other stuff. I got several people in the orchestra who are positive they know more about this than I do, and so they say, "Oh no, there's those. I found a way better string." So I always go and I get those other strings and I try them out, and it's never true, but they think that whatever. But this is what you want to put on, and if you are not, later this summer we'll have a string changing workshop in Summer Institute, but until then just play what you got on there, unless you have a competent guitar store in town. Take the strings in with your ukulele and tell them, I can't be without my ukulele. I want to come in when you can do it right then. And then you sit there while they do it. And they should charge you somewhere between $30 and $35 to change your strings out. Maybe a little bit less if you bring the strings in with you. But you're going to be amazed at how much nicer these make the ukulele sound than anything else. Okay. And it's worth the time. The challenge, of course, is that once you change them, then you get to tune your ukulele up a lot. Now, that's ukulele care idea number one. So how often do you need to change your strings? The answer is once a year, whether you play it or not. If you play a lot, like if you're playing every day, if you're coming into these ukulele workshops every single day, Monday nights, just playing the heck out of it this summer, you're probably going to want to change strings every 6 months. Okay, I have a couple players, Elizabeth, who's here, and Kenny down in Bullhead City, Arizona, play 2-3 hours a day. Lanny is another one of these guys, puts in a ton of hours. They got to change their strings more often because it just wear them out. Okay, classical guitar players who play 4 or 5 hours a day, they will change their strings every three months. So just know if your ukulele strings are 2-3 years old, you're doing yourself a disservice. Other thing I wanted to mention, this one has a strap on it. So this is the little button that you put on. You just drill a little hole in the bottom and add it on. Sometimes they come with the strap, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you have to buy it separate, but you do want to have a strap because of the complicated nature of the music we're playing. It's going to be hard to hold on to your ukulele when you're doing stuff with both hands. And so a simple strap like this, notice this end we just tied on with a piece of string, shoestring, right? and I tie it on right here. Some people say this drives them crazy with this leaning up against their hand, when you're fretting and it touches their hand. So they'll run it through underneath the strings right here. I don't do that. I think I actually find it helpful to know where we have those things leaning up against my hand, so I know kind of where I'm at when I'm down in first position. The other thing I wanted to mention, doesn't this ukulele look wonderful? This is really, really a beautiful thing. Cordoba, well thought of brand. Looks good. Has all the fancy doodads on here, and even has an electric thingamabob so you can plug it in and rock out. This ukulele is actually no good. Okay, and here's why. When I look down the fretboard this way, from here, it goes here, and then there's a big drop off, and then it continues on. And so there's this big spot here, and you probably wouldn't even be able to see it on the thing, but you're going along, and then there's this big drop off in here. And if you don't check that when you're buying a ukulele, you can end up with a bent neck like this one has, and it's not fixable. It's really not fixable. And so what's amusing on some level about that is this note and this note are the same note. It's not supposed to be that way. Okay. So, and that's what happens when you have a bent neck. So the rest of the neck is playable. It's perfectly fine. But when I get to these complicated songs that we end up with in this class, a bent neck can have some effect on you. Now, every neck has a little bit of wave to it, a little bit of funkiness to it. Every single one that comes in, brand new to top of the line down to the bottom of the line, you'll see, a little bit of wave. But if it's a big drop off like that, that's not a ukulele you want to own. And so, just when you buy a ukulele, that's something you want to check. Okay, so there's a little bit of ukulele care stuff. I thought yesterday's discussion kind of went by a little fast. I just wanted to dig in a little bit deeper. Fluorocarbon strings, yes. Button on the end, yes. Strap, yes. Bent neck, no. Okay, that's the message for today. All right, when you play with one of these straps, I usually don't use a strap because I'm typically teaching, and so this ends up feeling like it's trying to bring me down, but you should have it. Okay. Now look, now my ukulele is not going to go anywhere. I can play to my heart's content and not have any problems. Okay, other than my playing skill. Okay, that's the biggest problem I have. All right, let's play Yankee Doodle Boy. First chord is a G, index, middle, ring. I'm a Yankee Doodle. Okay, to get from G to A, just slide this index finger back and move your middle finger up. Dandy. And then you have to get to the D chord. Index finger, just change place with the middle finger. Toss everybody on there. A Yankee Doodle do or die. So if you're on D, drop your index finger down, add your other two on to get to the G. Okay. And then this song is fun because there's an E7 in here, and it doesn't make any sense that it's sitting there, but it sounds cool. E7, so you're in G to get to E7. This finger can't just go back one to the A. This finger's got to go up and over, and then these two go back on. A real live nephew of mine. Go to the A minor. Uncle Sam, add your index finger from A minor to A. Very cool chord progression. Born on the 4th of July. And then it repeats. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart. She's my Yankee Doodle joy. And then it goes into the Yankee Doodle normal. Okay. G chord. Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the ponies. It's all one G chord. It feels like it should change chords, but it doesn't. Ponies. Then today, I am a Yankee Doodle boy. In the original song, there is 400 lines of verses that I didn't even bother to read them. I don't even know. I don't need to know what he's talking about. Verse, blah, 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 and then the chorus. Okay. You see that a lot in Broadway music where, they're telling a story. And so there's all these verses that you're like, what is going on? I just want to get to the main idea. And not so much in modern ones, but in the old ones, it always happens that way where there's tons and tons of, exposition prior to getting to the meat of the song, and so you just delete that. Typically with Tin Pan Alley songs, we always delete the verses because they're ridiculous, and we're after the fun part of the chorus. Okay, I think our musicians today, all they write is the chorus, right? All right, so let's sing it. Get ready. It's in 4, 4 beats per measure, no matter what. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die, a real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, she's my Yankee Doodle joy. The Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the pony. I am a Yankee Doodle boy. And then you're going to repeat that whole thing twice. Okay, it's a cute song, right? I think it's fun. So you repeat that whole thing twice. There's not a first and second ending, so you're going to ride all the way through. And then on measure 17, I gave. If this is feeling comfortable, you can just finish with that G. If you're all that, bar on 7, pinky on 10. There's a G chord right there as well. Okay, so this is our regular open G chord, bar G chord. Okay, you've already put on your calendar next Monday night the legendary bar chord workshop. I've already posted the worksheet, and so you might want to start taking a look at that. We're going to solve all of your bar chord problems. You walk out of there and you'll be like, this isn't a problem at all. I'm totally capable of doing this. Okay, so there's only 10 shapes, technically 11, but there's really only 10 shapes, and I'm going to teach you all of them, and then you will know all chords in all positions everywhere on the fretboard. It's kind of handy. Okay, melody. Let's play the melody. Got some 2s, got some 3s, got a 5 once in a while, a 4 jumps in there. Don't see any 1s, I don't think, so we're probably, again, going to play this one in 2nd position, so we have to don't ever even have to move. Okay, so from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 0, 0, 3, 2, 3, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 3, 2, 3. 2, 2, 2, 4, 0, 2, 5, 3, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2, 0, 2, 3. 0, 2, 0, 0, 3, 2, 3, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 3, 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 2, 3, 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Repeat or, okay, so either repeat if you got to do it a second time, or just go to the end and put a G chord on the end. Okay, hopefully that's making sense. Way easier than the usual stuff, right? Not easy. None of it's easy. Nothing is easy in music. Some of it's easier than it used to be, right? All right, now we're going to play the tough uke. Let's go through it. We'll walk through it real quick. I don't think there's too much to talk about here. You've got a G chord to get started with. Let's put it on the right frets. And then you're going to open that up, and then you're going to strum it again. Okay, so it sounds kind of funky with that it's an A note in a G chord. It doesn't make sense, but that's what it is. And then 3, 2, 3. Go grab a full A chord. Hit this 1 as decoration. D, and then hit another 1 as decoration. Hit the 0, and then you're going to hit your D chord. Roll it. Either roll it down to get the 2, or add your pinky to get that 2 under Genki. Okay, and then get rid of it, and then a 2, 0. That'll lift up your ring finger and hit the middle finger with that 2. Back to G chord. And a little bit of a run here. 2, 3. A sniff of a rest, and then go 2, and go grab your E7. Hit the 2. This is a bummer. You got to hit your pinky probably to get the 4. Open it up. 5, and then A minor with the 3 on the top. Hit the 2. regular A minor, a nice 0 for a decorative note, and then go grab your A chord with your ring finger on 2. This is a beautiful chord. This is one of my favorites in ukulele. Open, hit the 3, A chord again, hit the 3, 2, and a nice D chord here. A little bit of a run, sniff, G chord, open, 3, 2, 3, A chord, 1, A chord, 1, hit the D chord, let it ride, D chord, 2, 0, 2, G chord, 2, 3, 2, partial G chord, 3, 0, 2, strum, 2, 0, 2, 2, strum, 3, 0, 2, strum, drop back, 2, A chord, strum, 0, strum, 3, 0, 2, G chord, strum. And then we're either going to repeat or we're going to finish. When you hit that 2, slide it all the way up to it, and then hit your 10. So probably try to hit that last 2. We normally hit it with this one, but you might want to try to hit it with your pinky so that when you come up here, and that way you can go. You get that little bit of zip. Sounds kind of fun. Ready to play it? Top to bottom, twice through. Here we go. Game face. 1, 2, ready, play. Top. Nice. You're all set for the 4th of July. Those of you not from the United States, 4th of July means nothing to you this year because there's no fireworks allowed anywhere. It's going to mean nothing to us, probably. I don't know. No, it means something. But anyway, you can play that for 4th of July. for your barbecue that nobody's coming to, right? Okay. I want to run through Give My Regards to Broadway real quick because we had a pretty good discussion yesterday. A few things are like, oh, this kind of, this, I don't like that, or I don't like this, or that's wrong, or typos, and blah, blah, blah. So, Little Johnny Jones tunes, Joyce's, the musical that's come from is called Little Johnny Jones. And apparently it was a huge, magnificent hit back in 1909 and so 1904. So times have changed. I don't know how far that would get these days. Give My Regards to Broadway is our next one. I just want to play through it, make sure that I captured those things that you guys was driving you guys crazy yesterday. And again, with Painful Uke, you're going to be playing it in this position for sure. There's no choice on that one. This one's going to have to be played with your claw, and that's a fun thing for those of you guys that are at that level to try. Tough Uke, definitely going to be just fine with our usual thumb down. Those of you who are newer and working on playing melody, by goodness, just play those thumb and individual notes. Okay, beautiful. And you can start practicing by playing those three strings with thumb, index, and middle, and see how you do. There's not going to ever be a melody note sitting up on 4 as long as I'm breathing. And then if you're brand new and you're just working on your chords, that's fine too, right? So find your way of making this happen. Okay, I'm going to be playing the Painful Uke. Let's go very quickly and talk about measures 25 through 28. Those are the ones that are going to eat you up. Okay, so 25, again, you've got this A7, index finger on 5, middle finger up here. It's like making an F chord, but then you're also adding in ring and pinky there. And then you got to reach back to get that 4, come back up to get the 7, and the 5, and then you're going to go pinky up to get the 8, pull it back to get the 7, and then I give you both choices. Okay, if you are I need a bar chord on 5 with my ring finger on 7, you're going to continue on that tough uke line. I'm sorry, the painful uke line. Okay, and you're going to play it that way. However, I wrote originally a D minor with my pinky here on 5 because for me that feels easier to play. Either of those is fine. Okay, just be aware if you are using this bar chord with your ring finger on 7, when you get to measure 28, you're also going to be adding your pinky on at 8 instead of diving down to get the 3. Okay, so one of those, both of those choices, either the tough uke line or the painful uke line, both of those choices are bad. Okay, find which one is the least bad for you and play it that way. But in terms of what you have to be able to do, you have to be able to play this D minor either in that open position down here with your pinky up here on 5, or you've got to play your bar chord here on 5 with your ring finger on 8 of the second string. So find out which is more comfy for you, and no cure for stubby finger syndrome, right? Those of you with short fingers, you are doomed. No, you're not doomed. Just play a smaller ukulele. The one that's tough, we get not necessarily always men, but mostly men that have thick fingers, right? They have maybe normal sized hands, but their fingers are real thick. I call them sausage fingers. They're the ones who really have to fight this, and they do want to play ukulele because on guitar it doesn't get any better. The strings are still close together, and then all of a sudden everything's far apart as well. So the ukulele is the way to go, but getting those fingers crushed down into these little spaces is tough. All right, let's play Give My Regards to Broadway. Play whatever line makes you happy. You get the part that doesn't make any sense, go up a line or two. Simplify your life. Real legit musicians do that, by the way. It's not cheating. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, do I need to play that again, right? To the top. Last ending. Ugh. Ugh. Guess what Gary needs to work? 25 through 28. 25 through 28. That's what I'm going to work on. Okay. So I am absolutely now more convinced than ever that this bar chord with 5 with the 7 on is not going to be the way I play it. But you guys have it just in case that is your way of playing it. And hopefully that will start to come around for you. And if that section is too hard, don't let your life be ruined over it. This is a song it's a fun song, but it's not the one to ruin your life over. And that is jump up and play just the melody line through there. Give my regards to old Broadway and tell them and then you can go back to Tough Uke, right? But just play the melody through that. It'll be fine. Did want to mention very quickly, and I think Evelyn was probably teasing, but if your thumb is turning brown, right, just probably means you're doing way too much work. So dial it back. Don't let your body turn into something weird because you're super, super motivated to make all of this music happen. We're doing way more music than anybody's supposed to. Like if you were taking private lessons from me, I give you 3 songs and we usually hang on to them for weeks and weeks and weeks, right? So we're doing 4 songs every week plus the intro songs, 8 songs a week. That's way more than you should be playing probably. So if your body starts to rebel against this, listen to it. Don't force yourself on your ukulele, right? When your body says, "Hey, Evelyn, your thumb's going to be brown because you're playing too much," you should take a day or 2 off, right? Just don't listen to your body. It's important. I don't want you to ever end up injuring yourself over this because you got the rest of your life to get it done. And God willing, you're going to be here around another 20, 25 years. You're going to be better. You're going to be playing ridiculously good stuff for the rest of your life. So just listen to your body. If your thumb is turning brown, stop playing for a little while. Okay, that's that. Let's see. Kat says, "Jesus, 25 to 27 is hard to get my fingers around." Yeah, me too. Yeah, Gary, who's the teacher, is supposed to be able to do that. That's pretty tough going through that section. So I'll be working on that this week to try to get it ready for concert. When you guys are thinking about Friday concert, right? You're thinking about what's the best job I could do on Friday concert? And that's about finding your place to, all right, these are the places that I'm going to blow it. Okay, I'm going to work on those areas until Thursday night. And if Thursday night they still haven't come together, then I'm going to simplify that and maybe just play the melody through that section. But yeah, this is super cool. The chords are dynamite if you can get them, but there's not easy. And usually I've been doing arrangements a long time. I'm usually figure out, first of all, is I put it in multiple keys until I find the one that's going to be the most playable through the hard part. And unfortunately, on this piece, that is the best solution for it. It's just hard to do, and you can do it. You will eventually be able to do it, but maybe not today, right? Hopefully by Friday. And I just froze there. Yeah, I was. It turns out when you're running the show, like you got the microphones and you got the video camera and you know you're live, you feel like you got to do it no matter what, even though every part of your body is like, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing through that section. What the heck did you write, Gary? Uh, but yeah, that doggone A7, it's an E7 shape up on 5. It is going to come up so much. Every tune from 1890 through about 1930, they put that exact thing in there, and it's going to come up. So there you go. All right, that's enough of that. Have a wonderful day, you guys. You got 3 nice songs. Tomorrow, I forgot what we're going to do. I think I've got something more modern coming. Yeah, tomorrow, and I'm hoping like heck I can get it done. All I ask of you from Phantom of the Opera, I have done a duet arrangement of that years ago that's just makes me cry. It's so pretty. But the problem is you kind of have to have 2 ukuleles to do it. So we're going to try to squish all that into 1 ukulele and see what happens. I think it should be fun. And so we'll get a little Phantom of the Opera tomorrow. And then Thursday, we have Summertime and the Bum. And it's fascinating in light of everything going on to be reading the Wikipedia pages about these old musicals. And you're like, wow, they did that? That seems like that somebody should have said, that's not a good idea, you guys. And so that one's another one of these controversial songs. So anyway, we're going to have a great week, and keep playing your ukulele, and send me emails if you have questions. I am behind on emails, but I'll eventually, I read them all. I just don't necessarily always have the ability to write you back. But so toss me a note and let me know if you need extra help or whatever. And if you haven't subscribed to the website, please do. I think that's a great way for you to just keep yourself connected to doing this on a daily basis, because you've made that financial commitment. We want you. I think, what are we up to on there? How many songs are we up to now on this site? Since March 20th, you guys have done 85 songs. 85. That's ridiculous. Okay. So I will see all you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful afternoon. Pauline, fingers. I need to wrap my head around those chords. Yeah, Pauline. Yeah, you'll get it. They're all right. They're just hard. You can do it. Hey, Chris, have a wonderful day. Phyllis, dry hands from too much washing makes it hard to play too. Yeah, by the way, if you are a lotion person, which most of us are, certainly in the West here, where it's real dry, wash your hands, play your ukulele, and then put your lotion on. Every ukulele and guitar I get into the shop is just covered in goo, and it's always because of lotion, right? So you don't want that on your strings. You don't want that on your fretboard. Wash your hands, then put lotion on after you're done playing. Mike, have a wonderful day. Brandon, good to see you, buddy. Terry, have a nice afternoon. Have a great evening. Thanks. I know it's almost evening time in Ontario there, huh, Phyllis? Have a great day. Elizabeth, bar /bar chord has blue black keys. Yeah. Well, I wanted them to, they can't be black because we got to write on them, so I made them blue. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool to have a blue piano? Carol, have a wonderful day. Joyce, summertime from the melody. Sometimes I feel like is that true, Joyce? I'm going to look that up. That's fascinating. I did not know that. Thank you, Joyce. Always, there's a reason why you go get your master's degree, right? So you can know things. I don't know anything. Lenny, have a great day. Thanks. Leslie, good to see you. Glad you made it in today. Laurel, 85, exclamation point. 85. What does that mean, Laurel? 85. I don't know what that means. Patty, Tom, have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. Linda, can't wait till Friday for the performance we get. Yeah, 3 days of practice. You guys will be good by then, right? You know where the problem is. Fix that one little problem and you got that song. I have 103 scores down. 103 in my Gary file. There's probably some worksheets in there, Joyce. I think I only have 80. I think the songs show up magically on the website. I just load them into the folder on my server and they show up. So there's 85 songs. There may be a few worksheets among your Gary scores. I like that, Gary. I'm officially made it into a folder on Joyce's hard drive. I have arrived. I am somebody. Thanks, Joyce. Good to know. PDF, not all scores. Yeah, there's a couple of worksheets in there. That's probably the difference. Oh, 85 songs. Yeah, 85 songs. Sorry, Laurel. That's what I just said. 85 songs. March, let's see, March 20. So April, May, June, less than 4 months. Okay. That's an insane amount of music. What am I doing? Why are we doing this? This is awesome. Okay. So 85. That's too many songs. Pick two. Okay. Yeah, that's how many you should be working on. Thanks, Laurel. Yeah. And Kat, thank you, Gary. Had a fun to see you tomorrow. Vicky, nice day. All right. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'm gonna hit the end the stream and be good. Stay inside. Don't trust what they're telling you out there. It's scary. Have a great day.